But I think, again, if we view our duty is to deliver long-term sustainable return to our policyholders, I think how do we kind of engage, exploit the opportunities? How do we manage the risk around it? I think that's what we spend our thinking time.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it from a short-term perspective, investing in emerging market debt might be counterproductive to decarbonization of your portfolio, because you are probably investing in more heavy manufacturing industries, to pick up on your point about outsourcing manufacturing to the developed world. But if you think about it from a more holistic, longer term perspective, if we really do want to achieve net zero, which, as you point out, we can't do in a bubble in one country on its own, it needs to be achieved globally, then having that skin in the game, so to speak, and being invested in those countries, in the emerging economies, means that you can start to really engage and influence. And even though you might not have voting rights attached to equity investment, you can shape how deals are done. So you can get into a more positive, and actually make, I think, quite a lot of positive change if you have sufficient resource to do that.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I mean, there clearly are some areas, some investments, some regions where we likely will say, look, the risks are so high that we don't think that's appropriate for us to be invested, and we probably won't go. But more often than not, where we see a problem, we say, oh, that's an opportunity to earn attractive returns, an opportunity to engage, an opportunity to make a difference. So I think that's how we are thinking about it. Even in emerging markets, I mean, our investments are more focused on government debt as opposed to corporates, and government debt and government emissions from a sustainability perspective has its own challenges. The whole thinking is evolving, methodologies are evolving, and how do you measure it? Are you double counting? So I think there are thorny issues to be worked on. But again, I think we feel we have an important role to play.
Yeah, and you can get into some like icky kind of situations where you don't want to be seen to be dictating to a developed country from a developing country from a developed country. But I think there is a recognition in the industry that we're going to have to do more engagement with governments, not just in the UK, but across the world, if we really want to make a difference. Can't just say, oh, sovereign debt is too difficult, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think a bit unfortunate